Hello guys and welcome back to the Zozums. It's me once again, the only person who runs this YouTube channel, and today we're taking a look at War Thunder again. My new microphone is fully set up and I can do everything now. Woohoo! I can actually have my mouse and my microphone plugged in at the same time. Isn't this just wonderful? And today, well yeah, there's that, and today we are going to be looking at the British tech tree again, because since I last made a video on this, they've released a bunch more tanks. Yeah. I believe I looked at the Valentine last time. The Valentine Mark 1 last time. If I didn't, correct me on that and I will do a video on it later. However, since I remember doing this one, the A13 Mark 2, they have released more than 4 more tanks. So what they have released is the Crusader Mark 3, the Cromwell Mark 5, Matilda Mark 2, Valentine Mark 9, and I believe they have released up to the Churchill Mark 3 on this line. So that's that. Okay, now let's look at the Crusader Mark 3 armor. Armor on the front of it. Down here you get 20 millimeters. That's also 20 millimeters. Right up here it's 20 millimeters. This area right here is 16 millimeters, so that's slightly weaker. This is 20 millimeters. The driver sits right here, so kill the driver. You're basically going to kill the driver. Shoot here if you want to kill the driver. This is a nice little not weak spot of 80 millimeters. And then there's that. This is also 50 millimeters. Well, this is effective 80 millimeters around here somewhere. So this is 50 millimeters, so this is not a relatively good weak spot to shoot at, because this is not a weak spot at all compared to the rest of the tank. But yeah, shoot here if you want to kill the driver almost every time. Okay, so front of the turret is 30 millimeters thick. We lost all that fancy stuff from the other Crusader, and instead gained a 57 millimeter gun. We have a machine gun here, which has some armor around it. It's just 25 millimeters of armor right there, and then the gun counts as 5 millimeters of armor. Yeah. The side of the turret gets 14 millimeters, even down the lower part. Top of the turret, it's 12 millimeters. Well, 12.7 millimeters, I should say. This area back here is 17 millimeters, so it's a relatively weak turret. Then again, this thing is weak. Same 4 millimeters of spaced armor as before. Down here we have 14 millimeters of side armor, and then top armor for the whole tank is 20 millimeters, plus this, which is just 7 millimeters. And then the rear of the tank, you have a whole bunch of stuff. You have this, which is the 20 millimeters from before. We have 12 millimeters at the back here, and then we have 14 millimeters at sort of like the top front, and then you have those two little pieces over there. If I can get them. Yeah, there. So yeah, that's the armor of this tank. People inside the tank, there's only 3 crew members. You shoot here, like you shoot at like this angle right here, you're gonna kill the driver and the aimer. Well, the gunner. It's not. Why is it called the aimer, you morons? But you shoot here, you're going to kill both of them. Also, shooting at the side of the turret is a nice thing to do to kill the crew members as well, because this thing only has 3 crew members. It's a pretty weak tank to kill. They got rid of the other crew member down here and replaced him with an ammo rack. But on the other hand, you do get a 57 millimeter cannon, which is a lot better than the 40. So that's the Crusader Mark 3. Moving on, we have the Cromwell Mark 5. I mean, I'm going to only show you the tanks that I have currently. So you have the Cromwell Mark 5. Frontal armor down here, it's 57 millimeters. You have 25 millimeters of armor down here. Up here you have 25 millimeters. Then you have 60 millimeters, 63 millimeters, I should say, around here. Then you have this thing. It's just also 63 millimeters. I don't know why it's different. It's just a little hatch. So you could have just modeled it as the exact same part, but I guess... never mind, I'm not going to go into that deep. Then we have this nice little machine gun right here, which counts as 5 millimeters of armor, not as armor. Side of the tank, you get 25 millimeters, so it's pretty weak. And the rear of the tank, you get 32 millimeters, which is better than this side, which is weird. Then we have 20 millimeters down here. That's it for the tank hole. Moving on to the turret, you get 63 millimeters at the front, 63 millimeters at the side, and 44 at the rear. Top of the turret, you get 20 millimeters all around. However, this is not a weak spot. Just, if you're going to shoot it, shoot it in the turret if you can. It's not a weak spot. So yeah, you shoot it there. So then we have another gun here, which counts to 5mm. And this little area right here is 63mm thick. I don't know why I said thick. We have a 75mm gun on this, so that's good. And for the top of the tank, we have 14mm all around. So that's the Cromwell. Let's take a look at this thing's crew members. It gets 5 crew members. Yeah. It's harder to kill than the Crusader Mark III. Shoot the side of the turret if you want to knock out these two guys, and possibly the... Who's that, the loader? Yeah, possibly the loader. The gun breech is an okay-sized gun breech. You have ammo storage all down here. This is just all ammo. If you want to kill this tank very, very quickly, shoot down right below the tracks. Well, actually, shoot right below the what are these called? I don't know what they're called. Tank guards? I'm not tread guards? I don't know. Shoot right above this. Not right above. Right below this little area of armor, you could say. Shoot right above the tracks if you want to kill that. We have the nice tea boxes along the side of the tanks, where that's where we store all our tea, so we can have tea time. And yeah, we also keep some kettles and stuff inside of that. And then here at the back we have our firewood. Yep, true story. Not really. Okay, moving on, we have the Valentine Mark IX. This thing is a step up from the Valentine, not armor-wise, but yeah, you know what I mean. So let's look at the armor on this. It's just, well, actually, the only real difference is the turret armor. So yeah, essentially armor for this thing, same as the Valentine. The only real difference is the turret armor right around here, because we got a new gun, the 75mm gun. The same one from the Cromwell. But, yeah, whatever. So we have this nice little 65 hump right here. 65mm of armor hump. Sorry, that was weird. I don't know why they did that. It's just kind of there. And then this section is just 65mm. It also extends the back here, so you have extra weak spots. This is just still 65mm. So that's that. If you want to kill this tank, just shoot the turret. You're gonna kill these two people, and then you're gonna make the tank useless. Or you don't even have to shoot the turret. Just shoot this around this area over here. Do we have any tea storage on this tank? I think we have. Yeah, we have a small little box of tea right here, and then we have all our firewood and stuff in here, and then we have more tea and other stuff in there. This is where we keep our sleeping stuff and the kettles and stuff, and then back here is where we keep some, like, random goodies we find on the ground. I don't know. Back here we keep our fuel, which is not actually a weak spot, so don't shoot here if you want to try and ignite it. But yeah, that's that. Moving on, we have the 3-inch gun carrier, or as we call it in my squadron, the 3-inch poop, which, because this thing sucks. This thing gets a 75mm, oh, 76mm cannon, and it's based on a Churchill chassis. So, looking at this thing's armor, you get the traditional 70mm of armor, 76mm of armor, I should say, at the lower plate area right here. You have this nice little hook right here, which counts as 25mm of extra armor. Apparently, this is also... What? Well, there's 25mm behind the... That is just a block of... What? Okay, well, there's 25mm of armor somewhere in here. Nobody knows where. This is just 38mm of armor, but sloped, it gets basically 70mm of armor. The front of this tank is 89 all around. There's really no weak spots around here. So that's just 89 all around. Then we have this little area down here, which is 100mm, so this is down to a weak spot. Do not shoot it. And then we have the gun, which counts as 25mm of armor. Yeah. And if we look at the armor, we have two little pieces of armor right around here. Don't know why, but yeah. Moving on to... No, I'm good. Thank you. Looking at the side of the tank, we have 76mm of armor. We also have spaced armor right here of 75mm. We have this little armor down here of 20mm. And then back here we have... Well, actually, this is just 76mm of armor. Yeah. There's just armor everywhere on this thing. So much armor. Much armor, very strong. Yeah. And then we have this little sliver right here, which counts as 25 millimeters of armor, which goes to the rear of the tank as well. Okay, looking at the actual rear of the tank, let's look at the rear of this, which is 25 millimeters. And then the rear down here is 25 millimeters. And down here we have 25 millimeters once again. Not necessarily strong tank. And then if we look at the top of the tank, we have 16 millimeters of armor for this little area right here, which is 40 millimeters. Looking at the crew members inside of this tank, if you want to kill 2 of them, you shoot here. If you want to shoot... Well, actually, just shoot this thing inside of the tank. It's going to be harder to knock out, because the crew members are spread out pretty nicely. So we have the commander right here, loader there, gunner there, and the driver there. Just shoot along the side of this tank if you can. But the way shells work and they hit the tank and they explode, you'll probably kill the commander, loader, and gunner at the same time. Then you have to shoot a separate shell just to kill the driver. Okay, moving on. Well, I believe they released the Churchill Mark III yet. I don't know. But anyways, let's just look at it. That's not what I want to do. Okay. Okay, so let's look at the Churchill then. If it loads in. Well, we can talk about this thing's armament. It gets a 57, the same 57 from the Crusader Mark III, and it gets a machine gun. Classic. So this thing is what the 3-inch gun carrier was based on. Oh no, I forgot to tell you guys where we put the T in the Churchill. I mean, not the Churchill, the 3-inch gun carrier. Oh well, you see those boxes along the side? That's where we keep our T. We keep the rest of it. We just keep everything else inside the tank. Okay, so let's look at this thing. We have 114 millimeters down here, not a weak spot. 38 millimeters right here. Shoot here if you don't have... Well, if you have heat shells, don't shoot here because it's angled. If you do have like armor-piercing composite ridge and all that, shoot here if you really are like desperate to penetrate. We have this nice little thing of 89 millimeters around here. Then we have 50 millimeters and a gun that apparently doesn't exist here. Right here we have 89 millimeters of hatch armor, you could say. And then back here we have 89 millimeters. This is not a weak spot. This little area around here, or around the whole frame of this. It's not a weak spot because that's where the other armor, the back armor there that you... This armor. Yeah, you know what I mean. So... Looking at the tank, we have a nice, meaty and large, oh man, turret ring. Took me a second to think about that. So you have a nice, meaty, large turret ring that is 76 millimeters of armor effective. No, it's just 76 millimeters of armor. Why did I try and say there? What am I trying to say there? I'm sorry, I don't know. So in front of the Churchill turret, it's 89 millimeters of armor. And then we have 89 millimeters of armor around the gun as well. And then we have 5 millimeters of armor for the gun. And then we have right around the gun itself another 25 millimeters. The gun itself is a, well, I already told you, it's 57 millimeter gun. But it's 25 millimeters of armor. So there's that. So moving on to the side of the tank and the side of the turret. The side of the tank gets 76 millimeters of armor. Wow, there's a lot. This is a lot more intricate than the gun carrier. So we have 38 millimeters of armor right around here, 76 millimeters of armor around here, and down here we have the same 20 millimeters of armor. Then we have the tracks, which count as an extra 20 millimeters of armor. That's for both sides of the tank. Side of the turret, we have 76 millimeters of armor, and moving on to the rear of the tank, we have 50 millimeters of rear armor. We have 25 down here. And then up here we have 76 millimeters. We also have these nice little... Never mind. No, nothing. I wasn't going to say anything, totally. Okay. So at the top of the tank we have 15.87 millimeters, which is essentially 16 millimeters of armor. And the top of the tank we have... Top of the turret, I should say, is 18 millimeters of thickness. The tracks count as 20 millimeters of spaced armor. And... That's it for the armor. Let's look at this thing. Shoot right here. Right, if you want to detonate an ammo rack, or at least just take out some of their ammo, shoot right here. That's a mighty, mighty pile of ammo. If you want to kill the crew, you have 3 people inside the turret. 2 of them sit rather low. The other one is just a loader. So if you want to shoot, if you shoot it from this side of the tank, you're going to probably kill the loader and the commander. Shoot it from this tank, this side of the tank, you're probably going to kill all three of these guys, just because. And then we have the machine gunner, or otherwise known as the backup driver, right here. And then we have the driver himself right there. If you're going to knock out these guys, I suggest shooting around here-ish. And yeah, that's that. And that's the Churchill. Wait, I need to show you guys where the T is. Because we gotta have our T in our tanks. I mean, what else would the British do? Like, not have tea time at all? I mean, that's just imposterous. But anyways, so we keep our firewood and stuff in here. We keep the kettles right over... No, we keep the kettles in this side. Back of the tank, we have all our fuel. And then we keep all the tea and stuff in here. Yep. That's my anatomy of this tank. So I think that's all that's available right now. Do not quote me on these two tanks. I don't know if they're actually available yet. And let's look at the T area for the 3-inch gun carrier, because I didn't get to show you guys. Why am I doing this? Because you must know where the T is stored, so if they shoot off your T, you can have revenge. So we keep all our tea here and over here, and we keep the firewood and the kettles and stuff inside the tank. Actually, no, we don't. We keep some of the firewood over here, we keep the kettles over here, and then we just keep the rest of it inside the tank. We don't need to store all the rest of the crap outside. It just gets cold. So I believe, once again, that's all that is available at the moment. Do not quote me on that, because I may be wrong. This is a rather long video for me. Well, it's a rather long video for War Thunder, so I'm not even going to try and put in some gameplay. Gameplay will be tomorrow. I hope you guys liked the video. If you did, just leave a like down below. Encourage me to keep making this stuff. If you're new to the channel, subscribe and become one with the Derby Zozie's army, if I can talk. And leave a comment down below if you have any suggestions on what I should do next time. Until next time, peace out.